Everyone, it's been over 23 years since I immigrated to Canada. I got a job and received a work visa just a month after arriving, and everything was so satisfying that I applied for independent immigration as well. I met my ex-husband, got married, and had children, and everything was really good until then. There was no stress, and my satisfaction was really high. But as I lived my life, I gradually felt it. This is getting harder. I didn't know exactly what it was at first. I started to feel unwell and realized that the slowness and limitations of the Canadian healthcare system really left me without answers. But only recently did I come to understand it clearly. I wonder why living in this country has become so difficult. For those considering immigration, for those already in Canada but thinking about returning, and for those living abroad. This story is something you must hear. In the past 10 years, I have experienced everything that most people won't encounter in their entire lives. So I want to share the real reality of Canada with you. I'll tell you everything I know. It felt almost like someone was testing me, like in Unbreakable. If there is a God, could you come down for a moment and have a chat with me? It was to the point where I couldn't help but say that. So the people around me asked me about divorce, medical issues, cancer, anything really. It's because I was the only one with all those experiences. I will tell you both the good and the bad about Canada. I am currently taking legal action on various issues. I don't intend to attack anyone. I see this as my last refuge to protect myself. I haven't precisely decided how many episodes I will make in the future, but I will discuss all the topics that many people are curious about: healthcare, home, education, employment, administration, transportation, costs. And the first reality I want to talk about today is parking fees. The last blow that made me feel like I really can't live anymore in Canada. I returned to Canada in September after visiting Korea this time. In that short time, the entire street had turned into a paid area. I had heard that it would become paid, but I never imagined that every street and every block would become paid at the same time. So I had to go to the hospital and urgently looked for street parking, but there were no spots available. So I parked in a public parking lot, which charged $9.90 per hour, almost $10. It was just a 1-hour trip to see the doctor. And they wanted $10? I was really taken aback. This isn't just a matter of inconvenience. It's an additional expense in my living costs. It's essentially a new tax. Before that, there were usually places like shopping districts or in front of parks where you could park for free for about 1 to 2 hours in areas with a lot of foot traffic. Of course, in residential areas, it was all free even without such signs. However, now all the alleys, blocks, in front of parks and commercial areas are paid. It's $3 per hour, $8 to $10 for public parking, and $22 to $24 for a day. This is not a simple change. It is the collapse of the cost structure of living in Canada. The parking fees have dealt the final blow to a country that was already struggling with rent, housing prices, taxes, and the cost of living. So I came to a conclusion. This country has now become impossible for ordinary people to live in. However, the reason I was more shocked is because of Korea. In Korea, consumers don't pay for parking fees. The business owner pays for it. I parked there while paying. Just one word and it's over. If you spend over 10,000 won or 20,000 won, parking is absolutely free. That was just a given for me. Because in Korea, parking lot entrances are narrow, the flow is complicated, and parking can be a hassle. People often don't drive around. Not because of costs. But this time when I went to Korea, I was really surprised that I don't remember paying for parking, since I have 2 kids with me. I thought using public transportation would cost about the same, so I rented a car for 500,000 won for 3 weeks. In Ilsan, Yongsan, the National Museum of Korea, outdoor tourist spots, shopping centers, and restaurants, I've never had to pay for parking anywhere. It's completely automated. There are no buttons to press when you enter. If you just drive in, the license plate is automatically recognized. When shopping and checking out, You only need to say the last digits of your vehicle's number, and the staff will input it into the system right away. So when you leave, the barrier doesn't come down. This means the default setting is open, and the barrier only comes down when someone tries to avoid paying. So it's easy and quick to just go in and out. And it's free if you're planning to visit Korea with a group of 3 or more. I recommend considering car rental. If there are 4 or 5 of you, renting a vehicle will be much cheaper. However, in Canada, it's actually paid parking everywhere, even up to where I live in North Vancouver. So now everything is really paid parking. You might not believe it if you live in Korea, but no business in Canada pays for parking fees. So make sure to check the parking lot and costs before you move. I'm thinking about doing medical care in the next episode. You all know, right? Healthcare in Canada is free, and it's slow. You may only know this much, but the system is more than that. The reality that only those who have experienced it know, so I will return to the medical side next week. But could you please address this topic first? If you have anything like this, please let me know in the comments. Thank you.